ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਮੇਰੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਰਹੇਗੀ ਇਸ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ। Welcome to the show, Rima.
Sat Sri Akal. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Sat Sri
And thank you
Akal.
for your warm welcome. I
Excellent.
understood a few words, not too many. I'm presuming
Thank
it's
you.
warm,
Yes,
as
yes.
usual with you.
Yes, that's right. In my community, it's pretty same as Lebanese community. Not much difference culture-wise.
100%.
And we're always proud to be who we are.
That's right. We've got a lot of beautiful similarities,
Exactly.
which I feel very, very blessed to know.
Yes,
and
yes.
continuously learning.
And we are lucky enough. We are in New Zealand, where we believe in multiculturalism.
That's right.
And
That's
we
right.
acknowledge the diversity of this nation.
And, I say to people, my parents always taught us from a young age. I'm one of 5 children that I was born in Australia, as many people know. I've been
Yes.
here for almost 12 years after getting married to my Kiwi-born husband, Roger. But our parents and Roger's parents always taught us that our countries opened up their doors to us, to my parents, to build a better life, for Roger's parents to build a better life here. And for that, we are forever grateful. This is our home.
Wonderful. We love your family values and we love your lifestyle in this country.
Thank you.
Tell us more about yourself, and then we will ask you why people should vote national.
A bit about me. As I said, I'm one of 5
Yes.
kids. My mum was a florist and my father was a welder.
Wow.
And, life was all about school,
Yes.
family, but also helping out the parents with the business. So I say to people, we didn't really have much holidays.
Yes.
Our holidays, our weekends, even in our evenings, was helping mum in the shop, because dad gave up welding and they built the florist shop together. But what I love about that is that it taught us the value of every dollar. And I say to people, I learned from a very young age that money doesn't grow on trees. It's hard-earned money.
Yes.
So I studied law in Australia, was admitted into the bar over there in New South Wales as a solicitor, and admitted in the bar here as well. Into the bar here as well. But I don't practice as a solicitor. I work in emergency and transitional housing. It's a family-owned business with my husband, Roger. And I say to people, it's not one of the horror stories you hear about on the news, because we've worked hard to make sure that we've got a great system in place. We've got management on site. We've got rules that are adhered to. But more importantly, we work alongside social wraparound services.
Excellent. And why people should vote national, and why you choose national?
When I moved to New Zealand almost 12 years ago, I say this story that my husband was renewing his membership for the National Party.
Okay.
And he said to me, Rima, shall I sign you up? And I said, look, I've got to look up all the parties and see which one appeals to me. So I went online, looked up all the values for the main parties. Most of them, lovely. Some of them made me laugh.
Yes.
But the National Party values, very instantly I saw they align with me and I align with them. And I love those values. For any of you that haven't read much about our values, there's 10 of them. Back then there were 9 when I first moved to New Zealand. And I find that a lot of our beautiful Indian community, our values would resonate with them. For example,
that's right.
Strong families, safe communities, personal responsibility, equal citizenship, equal opportunity, loyalty to our sovereign nation, reward for achievement. We work hard, but it's okay to reward ourselves as well. There's those type of values. There's many more, but those are the ones that pop up regularly with my conversations with our beautiful Indian and ethnic communities, because they resonate. So why should people vote for National?
Yes.
National has a massive focus on bringing down the cost of living.
Okay.
We're going to, when we talk about rebuilding the economy, we understand that with a strong economy comes better public services. So we want to rebuild our economy with this particular focus as well, bringing down the cost of living. But also, many of us, no matter where I've been door knocking and when I've helped out even outside of Takanini, the main issue on people's minds, other than the cost of living, is law and order.
Another day, I was listening to Minister Priyanka Radhakrishnan in Mahatma Gandhi Center. She was claiming the law and order is actually okay in this country.
Yeah, and that's really, it's very upsetting to hear that. And I did read about that. and I heard about it,
Yes.
because to me it dismisses the fear, the pain, the real dread that's out there. I've spoken to people, Parminda,
Yes.
that no longer go shopping for their groceries
Exactly.
at those main shopping centres. They get their kids or their grandkids to order it for them online.
That's it.
There is real fear there.
Yeah.
I remember there was one weekend, it was a beautiful Sunday,
Yep.
and I went door knocking in Addison, and there were many kids playing in the park there next to Songbird Cafe. Shout out to Ahmed Luthra, awesome guy there.
Oh, yeah.
And I door knocked, and a gentleman opened his door. He had twin girls,
Okay.
and a younger child. And he said, "Look, it's a sunny day. I've kept my kids inside. I'm too afraid to take them out because of crime and a lack of safety." That broke my heart.
That's right.
This is how serious it is. And when we've got people that are in ministerial positions saying that there's not really much of an issue to see here, that's what adds salt to the wound.
That's right.
And it shows me that, unfortunately, many of our Labour MPs are out of touch.
That's right. One of your friend actually commenting, "Good morning, my two favorite trees," and also saying, "You're awesome, Rina."
Thank you.
And a blue heart.
Thank you.
Rima,
you.
what's the situation in your electorate? What is the potential progress we need to look at in your electorate particularly?
Yeah, so when we talk about the cost of living,
Yep.
yeah, I remember in particular one grown man about 2 months ago. I was door knocking around the Takanini, Addison area as well.
Okay.
And he started crying. He was my age, in his 40s.
God, this
Tall man.
This country is not the same. Obviously.
So many of our beautiful Indian community say to me they chose New Zealand because New Zealand was considered one of the safest countries in the world to come to.
Yes.
They're going to their jobs in our retail shops. Mark Mitchell, when he came out to Takanini, we went around visiting some of our retail stores. We're talking about real intimidation, Parminda.
Yep.
People coming into the stores, into a phone shop saying, "I want that phone. If you don't give it to me, I'll be waiting outside in the car park for you. What are you going to do?"
My God.
People are leaving their retail jobs because they no longer feel safe.
Yes.
So in Takanini, we've got this, what I call a toxic combination of the cost of living crisis that is putting such a massive burden on people's mental well-being, but also a lack of safety. So that's a toxic combination.
Yeah.
Some people say to me, "Look, we can work around our budgets."
Yes.
Some people say to me, "Look, we can work around this, we can work around them," but it's that toxic combination that's making people feel they can't breathe anymore and they just want to leave New Zealand.
Are we going
That's
to
what
tough
I'm
on
hearing.
youth offenders?
100%.
Are we going to tough on the gang members?
And this is what I say. I'm not the big bad wolf. Our party understands a lot of our youth. There's a reason why many of them I refer to as troubled youth. There's some massive issues that's happened in their lives, to a great extent, not all of them, for many of them, that lead them to this path. But we need to make them feel that there's consequences, and we need to think of the wider community as well.
Yes.
There's victims out there that feel that they've been forgotten
That's right.
by this Labor government with this soft on law approach. We understand we've got this policy where we're going to set up military academies, send the kids there. They'll be in a warm bed, under a roof, and they'll be facilitated by people that are trained with working with troubled youth. There is a way. We just have to make our youth see there is consequences to their behavior, but there's a life outside of crime.
You have to break the cycle.
We have to.
I think we already had enough. In the meantime, how can we stop the brain drain from New Zealand to Australia?
Well, we have to create real opportunities here. There's been a lot of people that I've spoken to, their kids have left, and some parents have said to me, "I encouraged my kids to leave because there's more of an opportunity for them in Australia."
Right.
And so one of the ways that we're going to stop part of this brain drain is with our policy around nurses and midwives. For any of our nurses that are trained here in New Zealand, We're going to, if they stay here in New Zealand after they graduate for at least 5 years
Yes.
or up to 5 years, for every year that they're here up to 5 years, we're going to take off $4,500 off their student loan. We'll pay it. Yeah,
Wonderful.
I think that's a great policy.
Mm.
It's a way that we're going to bond them to New Zealand, and
Yes.
we're looking at it for other professions as well. But one of the professions amongst a few is nursing.
Yes.
Mm.
Looking at the overall picture, the whole, and after this latest situation in Port Waikato.
Mm. God bless that person, that
Yeah.
act
Neil.
candidate's soul.
So, what do you think? What will be the situation looking at the coalition?
Look, what we're aiming for is a strong, stable, national-led government, Parminda.
Yep.
That's what we're aiming for, and that's what we're asking people to remember when they go into the voting booths. And what's so interesting, yesterday the first door I knocked on yesterday, no, not the first, it was a few doors, a gentleman was leaving, and he said to me, I'm going to vote right now. And he said to me, I'm going to vote for you. And I said,
Yeah.
look, thank you, sir. And then I said, and Party Vote National. And he looked at me, he said, but, talk amongst our friends is that if we party vote someone else, it will help National. And I said, no. If you know that we need to change the government, which clearly you do see that we've got to change the government, the strongest way to do that, the surest way to do that
Yes.
is to party vote National. And that's the message I would say to our beautiful listeners.
Your
Party Vote
expectations
National.
from ACT? ACT will be fine to fill that gap, or
The great thing is Christopher Luxon has a relationship with David Seymour from before. And look, I say to people, Chris is Mr. Boss.
Yes.
He knows how to pull teams together. He knows how to prioritize what needs to be prioritized, and I have every faith in him. Hmm.
Last but not least, 14th October is the date. What we love to see our people to vote in advance. What would you say?
Please do go out and vote in advance. What's really interesting is we've had a few voting booths around Takanini and just outside where there has been a lot of people voting. But I guess the great thing is that, one, you get it out of the way, and two, it just makes it easier for everyone on the day, and three, sometimes things come up on election
You
day.
never know. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, we never had this early voting option,
Exactly.
and you'd have to make sure nothing comes up on election day.
Mhm.
In Australia, you get a fine if you don't vote.
Yes.
So please go out and vote. There's a lot of stations around, and you can go to vote.nz that you can find out where your closest one is. But for us in Takanini,
Yes.
the warehouse Takanini has an early voting station, sometimes open till 7.
Yes.
We've got Ormiston Mall just outside of New World.
Wonderful.
We've got Botanical Gardens. Yeah, there's quite a few.
You have a funny electorate, and you are all over the place.
Yeah,
What
I
is your
love to
favorite
call
place
it.
for human holding?
I love to call it beautifully eclectic
My God.
electorate. We're pockets,
This is
pockets
diplomatic.
of different communities. People that have done okay for themselves and people that are doing it really tough.
Yep.
My favorite spot for human hoarding. It
Dawson?
depends.
Murphy?
Dawson, we went yesterday.
Yes.
Murphy's is always good. I find the
That's a huge
Redoubt
crowd.
Road.
I was going into the police meeting actually around 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You got a huge crowd over there
Which one?
in Dawson.
Yeah, that was
Dawson and Boundary.
yes. We
Yeah.
yesterday we combined it with Naftej Landawa.
no,
Yeah,
why
so that was
too many
pretty
people
awesome.
standing there?
And he was on the microphone. He was, taking it to the town.
Yeah.
Look, I love the one in Goodwood Heights. We
Oh,
go on
yes.
to Redoubt Road
Yes.
and Hollyford, because that we get a
Where Pinky
mixed
and
reaction.
Sunny, they both come together.
They are just, look, what would we do without our volunteers? I
Exactly.
want to thank you to our
And I
volunteers.
tell you one thing, Sylvia would acknowledge that the most diverse team actually standing with Rima Nakhle. I said, yes, of course.
And this is what New
We
Zealand
all love
is.
her.
Thank you. I have my uncle, my dad's brother. I learnt the word cha-cha.
Yes.
My dad's younger brother, he arrived last week to help out. I have my younger
They call
sister,
him Chacha.
and now I'm calling him cha-cha.
My
And I've got my younger sister that came from Sydney. And, it's all about banding together. But what I also love, Parminda, is us in Takanini, we are very inclusive.
Yes.
You want to help? Come along and help. Even when I've been door knocking, some young people come and they listen to their parents and they tell me they're interested. And I say, if mum and dad are okay with it, and if they want to
Wonderful.
accompany, come door knocking with me.
Wonderful.
Why not expose our youth to this thing called elections. And I love having all our different cultures with us.
Wonderful. And we love it.
And what I
Keep it this
appreciate,
way.
I want to say something. And I said this the other day, with our Sikh community, when they say they'll help, they mean it.
Yes.
So I want to thank you very much for opening your homes and your hearts to me. I talk to my mother in Australia and I say to her, Mum, you know, I don't know how to thank them enough for all the help that you've all given me. Thank you.
I could see another day when you've been invited in Indonet's dinner in Chavla's restaurant. I could see that that your spirit really high, and you love to say thank you, and thank you to everyone.
Yeah, look, growing up, Mum told us the most important words are thank you and please.
Yep.
And the New Zealand Sikh Games, a few of them there, they organised 50 volunteers for Takanini to help deliver our letters that were in your mail,
and get the job
your
done.
letterbox rather, get the job done in a few hours.
Yes.
Do you know what a burden that took off our shoulders?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. No doubt about it. And before you go, I would love to see all these hardworking volunteers with you and your community people there.
Yeah.
And also,
I'm very blessed.
Erica Stanford.
Erica, do you know how many people have said to me?
And your adopted son, Robin.
Robin.
He's there.
I say everyone needs a Robin.
Yes.
Robin Atwal. You know, with Erica, how many people have said to me they're voting for the first time because of Erica?
Yes.
To say thank you to Erica for the amount of hard pushing she did to make sure that they get help.
Yes.
Our migrants get help. So thank you for the
Wonderful.
support that you're showing as well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And I hope you keep up the spirit.
Thank you, Parminda.
And mainly, yes, thank you. Thank you for learning all these beautiful words from my language. And also, I would like to comment on your love towards food, but after elections.
Look, you know what? It's a celebration either way. You know, because I'm very grateful and very blessed to have so many people around. But if I can just reiterate, Parminda, if I can take up a few more seconds, please remember, everyone, that our focus is to bring down the cost of living, to restore law and order, and to improve our public services, in particular education, health, and infrastructure.
Wonderful.
So party vote national, and I'd love your candidate vote as well.
2 ticks national.
2 ticks blue. You know what to do. Thank you. Shukriya.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Reema Nakhle ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੁਣੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਾਸਟ ਆਫ ਲਿਵਿੰਗ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੇਸਿਕ ਫੂਡ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੀਮਤ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਘਟਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ, ਨਾਲ ਅਮਨ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੀ ਸਥਿਤੀ, ਲਾਅ ਐਂਡ ਆਰਡਰ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਮੈਟਿਕ ਲੀਡਰ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ ਲਕਸਨ ਦੀ ਸਪੀਚ ਤੋਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਨਾਲ ਹੋਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਵੋਲੰਟੀਅਰਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਐਵਰੀਡੇ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਹੋਲਡਿੰਗਸ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੀਮਾ ਨਾਖਲੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਅਦਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ। ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਜਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਹੈ, ਭਾਰਤੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੀਮਾ ਨਾਖਲੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਪਛਾਣ ਬਣਾਈ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਭੈਣ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਲਟੀਕਲਚਰਲਿਜ਼ਮ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਨੋਲੇਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੁਝ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੰਕਲ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਚਾ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਬੁਲਾਉਣੀ ਆ। ਐਂਡ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਲਿਆ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੰਗਿਆਈ ਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਰ ਬਾਈ ਆਲ ਮੀਨਸ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਇਸ ਵਾਰ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ 14 ਅਕਤੂਬਰ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟਸ ਆਉਣਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਦਿਲਚਸਪ ਸਮੀਕਰਨ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ। ਜੇਕਰ ਗੱਠਜੋੜ ਦੀ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਆਲੀਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਰਾਜਨੀਤੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ, ਐਕਟ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਮੀਕਰਨ ਸਥਾਪਿਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ 2 ਜਾਂ 3 ਸੀਟਾਂ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਪੋਰਟ ਵਾਇਕਾਟੋ ਦੇ ਬਾਈ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ 25 ਨਵੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਣਾ, ਔਰ ਐਂਡਰੂ ਬੇਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਬੜੇ ਲੰਮੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਾਜ ਸਥਾਪਿਤ ਕਰੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਕੁਝ ਨਵੇਂ ਸਮੀਕਰਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਬਦੀਲੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਬਹੁਤ ਜਲਦੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੇਂ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਰਚਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਚੱਲਾਂਗੇ। ਬਹਿਰਾਲ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਤੋਂ ਰੀਮਾ ਨਾਖਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਆਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ